Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show where we dissect every scandal, every twist, and every heart-stopping moment in entertainment news with unparalleled intensity. And tonight we're plunging headlong into the dramatic, high-stakes world of the bold and the beautiful as we recap the explosive February 18, 2025 episode. In a night filled with secret glances, bitter confrontations, and shifting alliances, Hope, Ridge, Carter, Katie, Brooke, and the rest of the Forrester family find themselves entangled in a battle over legacy, power, and the very soul of their company. The evening began with an emotionally charged hug between Carter, Lawrence St. Victor, and Ridge, Torsten K., a gesture that, at first glance, hinted at reconciliation. Yet beneath that warm embrace simmered a tension that would soon erupt into an all-out confrontation. As Hope, Annika Noel, walked away from the scene, Ridge, ever the reluctant caretaker, quickly offered Carter a new bandage for a cut on his hand, a small, but symbolic act of healing that spoke volumes about the deep undercurrents of guilt, regret, and loyalty that plagued these characters. But it wasn't long before the calm was shattered. Hope, with steely determination and tears in her eyes, entered the frame and demanded answers. "What's going on here?" Her timing was impeccable, as always. Hope's entrance signaled that the day's events were about to take a sharp, unexpected turn. Elsewhere, the tension mounted in the design office. Katie, Heather Tom, found Brooke, Catherine Kelly Lang, struggling to focus amidst the chaos of a transformed Forrester headquarters. Brooke, feeling like a fish out of water, lamented that everything felt different, a stark contrast to the stability that the once proud Forrester legacy once symbolized. As Katie pressed for details, it became clear that Brooke's distress stemmed not only from the overwhelming responsibilities of balancing her role as CEO with her personal life, but also from the unspoken conflicts tearing the company apart from within. Across the office, Zend, Delon de Metz, remarked on Brooke's off energy, a comment that did little to quell the rising storm. Steffi, Jacqueline McInnes Wood, dismissed Zen's concerns with a cool detachment, while Taylor, Rebecca Budig, ever the provocateur, questioned the implications if Brooke's inner turmoil were indeed real. The interplay of these strong personalities underscored a central truth. Beneath the glamorous facade of the Forrester empire lay a battleground where family loyalties and corporate power were in constant flux. As the narrative unfolded, the central conflict came to a head when Hope, the ever-resilient force of nature, confronted Ridge in an emotionally charged exchange that left fans reeling. Hope accused Ridge of trying to undermine her authority and questioned his motives, especially when he offered Carter a bandage, as if attempting to mask the deeper wounds inflicted by past betrayals. "You think a bandage can cover up your guilt?" she challenged, her voice trembling with both anger and sorrow. Ridge's response was laced with bitterness and regret. In a moment of raw vulnerability, he admitted that he felt torn between his long-standing ties to the Forrester legacy and the emerging new order that Hope now represented. "I was once part of this family," he said, his voice heavy with remorse, "but times change, and sometimes, the crown isn't meant to be worn by those who were once kings." His words, though measured, hinted at a deeper truth, that Carter's involvement in what many perceived as a power grab was shaking the very foundations of the Forrester dynasty. No recap of this episode would be complete without delving into the controversy surrounding the company's highly anticipated jewelry line. In what was meant to be a celebration of Forrester Creations' future, the launch instead became a flashpoint for old wounds and fresh rivalries. Hope, with her characteristic mix of ambition and vulnerability, reminded Ridge that the jewelry line was not just a product, it was a symbol of the new power structure that she was determined to uphold. "This is the future of Forrester Creations," she declared, her eyes blazing with conviction. "No one will stop it." Ridge, however, was not ready to let go of the past so easily. In a stinging rebuke, he declared ill-gotten gains, as he stormed out of the scene, leaving Carter to close his eyes in silent resignation. His departure left a void that was palpably felt by everyone on set, a void that spoke to the deep-seated struggles of identity, legacy, and the price of ambition in a world where every decision carries the weight of history. As the main confrontation between Hope and Ridge sent shockwaves through the studio, the corridors of Forrester Creations buzzed with hushed conversations and furtive glances. In the hallway, Brooke, torn between her loyalty to Ridge and her determination to protect her daughter, found herself in a private tête-à-tête with Ridge. In that moment, as Daphne, Muriel Hilaire, and Zen looked on in bewilderment, Brooke pleaded with Ridge to come back to her, a plea that was as much about reclaiming lost power as it was about preserving a sense of family unity. "I only took the CEO role to get through to Carter," she confessed in a trembling voice. "I'd step aside in a heartbeat if it meant bringing you back." Meanwhile, Taylor observed the unfolding drama with a keen eye, her mind racing with possibilities. Could Ridge's absence from the boardroom be a deliberate attempt to distance himself from a company that no longer felt like home? Or was it merely the result of unresolved personal conflicts that had reached a boiling point on this fateful day? The questions hung in the air like a dense fog, leaving fans and insiders alike to wonder if this was the beginning of the end for the old Forrester order. In one of the episode's most poignant moments, Hope, still reeling from the confrontation, turned her attention to Carter. Alone, away from the prying eyes and the echo of harsh words, Hope asked Carter if he was okay. In that intimate exchange, with tears glistening in her eyes, she reassured him that together they could fend off the forces that threatened to tear their world apart. Their tender kiss, laden with both hope and heartache, was a reminder that amidst the chaos, love and loyalty still had the power to mend even the deepest wounds. As the episode drew to a close, viewers were left with more questions than answers. Where had Ridge disappeared to after the explosive confrontation? Was he retreating to the safe confines of Forrester Creations, or had he chosen a solitary path away from the battleground? And what of Carter? Was his resolve wavering under the pressure of the shifting alliances and hidden agendas that had come to define the night? In the final moments, as Taylor mused on the nature of power and the bonds that hold a family together, it became clear that this was not simply a recap of an evening of dramatic confrontations. It was a turning point, a moment when old loyalties were questioned, new alliances were forged, and the very identity of Forrester Creations was up for grabs. The stakes were higher than ever, and every character on screen was forced to confront the painful truth that in the relentless world of the bold and the beautiful, nothing stays the same for long. Let's take a moment to examine the key players in tonight's drama. Hope, portrayed with fiery determination by Annika Noel, has long been the catalyst for change at Forrester Creations. Her ascent to power was marked by a refusal to accept the status quo, a defiant stand against a legacy steeped in both tradition and exploitation. Tonight, Hope's confrontation with Ridge was more than a clash of personalities, it was a symbolic battle for the future of the company. As she declared that the power structure would remain intact under her leadership, Hope sent a clear message: the era of manipulation and abuse was over. But can she truly hold on to that vision when the ghosts of the past, embodied by Ridge and Carter, continue to haunt her every move? Ridge, played with a brooding intensity by Torsten K., represents the old guard of the Forrester dynasty, a man whose very name is synonymous with legacy and tradition. His resistance to change, his deep-seated guilt over past misdeeds, and his desperate desire to reclaim what he sees as his rightful place have all contributed to a character who is as tragic as he is defiant. In tonight's episode, Ridge's bitter remark "ill-gotten gains" was not merely a dismissal of Hope's vision, it was an admission of the pain and regret that have long tormented him. For Ridge, the struggle is not just about the future of the company, it's about atoning for a lifetime of decisions that have left him isolated and embittered. Then there's Carter, whose quiet resilience and inner turmoil have made him the reluctant pawn in this high-stakes game of power. Lawrence St. Victor's portrayal of Carter reveals a man caught between loyalty and guilt, a man whose every gesture, every wounded glance, speaks to the heavy burden of responsibility he carries. His interaction with Ridge, the tender moment with Hope, and his own internal struggle to assert his independence all paint the picture of a character who is both fragile and fiercely determined to do what's right, even if it means challenging the established order. For fans of the bold and the beautiful, tonight's episode was a masterclass in dramatic storytelling. Behind every heated conversation and every emotional confrontation lies a meticulously crafted narrative, one that has been years in the making. The creative team behind the show has long been known for their ability to weave intricate plots that blur the lines between love and betrayal, ambition and redemption. In tonight's installment, every moment was charged with meaning, from the symbolic gesture of a new bandage on Carter's hand to the bitter parting words that echoed through the halls of Forrester Creations. Insiders reveal that the episode was shot over the course of several intense days, with cast members and crew members alike working tirelessly to capture the raw emotion and high stakes that define this latest chapter. The design office scenes, the private confrontations in the hallways, and the breathtaking final moments between Hope and Carter were all meticulously choreographed to reflect the fragile nature of power and the inherent tensions that come with trying to forge a new future from the remnants of the past. No recap of tonight's drama would be complete without acknowledging the fervor that exploded across social media. As soon as the episode aired, fans took to Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram to share their reactions, dissect every line of dialogue, and debate the true meaning behind each character's actions. Hashtags like #BWBRecap, #HopeConfrontsRidge, and #ForresterFrenzy trended for hours, as die-hard viewers and casual fans alike weighed in on everything from Ridge's enigmatic exit to Carter's inner conflict. One popular fan theory suggests that Ridge's bitter farewell was not just about a personal vendetta, it was a symbolic rejection of a past era where power was hoarded and misused. Others believe that Hope's tearful kiss with Carter represents the hope of a new beginning, a fragile truce in a family long divided by ambition and betrayal. Social media influencers, soap opera analysts, and even former cast members have all chimed in, turning what began as a routine recap into a full-blown cultural phenomenon that transcends the boundaries of daytime television. At the heart of tonight's drama lies a question that goes far beyond personal rivalries: what is the future of Forrester Creations? For decades, the company has been a symbol of both creative innovation and cutthroat corporate maneuvering. Tonight, as Hope asserts her vision of a new, unyielding power structure, she challenges the very notion that the past should dictate the future. "This is the future of Forrester Creations," she proclaims, her voice trembling with both determination and defiance. But can she truly steer the company toward a brighter tomorrow when the legacy of Ridge, Carter, and countless other figures still looms large? Brooke, Catherine Kelly Lang, tasked with the seemingly impossible challenge of bridging the old and the new, finds herself torn between conflicting loyalties. In a candid conversation with Katie, Heather Tom, Brooke reveals that her struggles are not just professional but deeply personal. "I feel like a fish out of water," she admits, describing the disorienting shift in both the company's dynamics and her own sense of identity. For Brooke, the challenge is not simply about managing a business, it's about preserving the delicate balance between tradition and innovation, between the revered past and the promise of the future. Amid the corporate maneuverings and heated confrontations, the emotional core of tonight's episode remained unmistakably human. Hope's tear-stained kiss with Carter was a moment of raw vulnerability, a silent acknowledgement that even in the midst of power struggles and bitter rivalries, the bonds of love and loyalty can still offer a glimmer of hope. As the camera panned to a solitary Carter closing his eyes in quiet resignation, viewers were left with a poignant reminder of the heavy cost that ambition can exact on even the kindest of hearts. For many fans, these intimate moments resonate on a deeply personal level, reflecting the universal struggle between duty and desire, between the need for security and the longing for true connection. In the world of the bold and the beautiful, every gesture, every whispered word, is charged with meaning, and tonight's episode was no exception. The raw emotion displayed by the characters not only served as the catalyst for dramatic confrontations but also as a testament to the enduring power of hope in the face of seemingly insurmountable challenges. As the episode draws to a close and the final credits roll, the lingering question remains: what will become of Forrester Creations? With Hope determined to reshape the company into a bastion of progress and integrity, and with Ridge and Carter caught in the crossfire of old loyalties and new ambitions, the future of this iconic institution hangs in the balance. The stage is set for a dramatic evolution, a new era defined not by the ghosts of the past but by the relentless pursuit of a better tomorrow. Industry experts and longtime fans alike are already speculating on what these dramatic shifts mean for the show's future. Will the power struggle between Hope and Ridge spark a revolution that forever alters the dynamics of the Forrester family? Or will the entrenched forces of legacy prove too formidable, forcing a bitter stalemate that leaves the company and its people forever divided? As debates rage on across social media and in water cooler conversations nationwide, one thing is clear: tonight's events have ignited a fire that will not easily be extinguished. In a world that often feels overwhelmed by the weight of reality, there is something undeniably cathartic about watching a story unfold that is so rich in emotion, complexity, and raw human truth. Tonight, as we witnessed the explosive confrontation between Hope and Ridge, we were reminded that even in the most meticulously crafted dramas, the human heart remains unpredictable and fragile. Every tear, every whispered word, and every moment of anger or tenderness is a reminder that at the core of every story lies the universal struggle for connection, identity, and meaning. For fans of the bold and the beautiful, tonight's episode is more than just a recap. It is an invitation to explore the deep, often painful realities that define our own lives. It challenges us to confront our own fears, to question the forces that shape our destiny, and to ultimately find hope in the midst of despair. And as the Forrester family continues to battle their inner demons and external adversaries, we are left with the promise that no matter how dark the night, the dawn will always bring with it the light of a new beginning. If you like this news and want more, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with all your friends. Until next time, sensationalist family. In a world